One of my favorite people in the world is here today, and we've met him because one of you called us up and said, you got to interview Luke D'Angelo, who's the chairman and CEO of AppTech Payment Corporation. And we started realizing, didn't we, I think we realized when Luke was on the air that, okay, we have this digital currency thing, right? Mm-hmm. And we're all afraid of it. But last time I checked, I got the same $20 in my wallet I've had since like February 2020.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't use cash anymore. We already in a digital world. And what's interesting is there's a piece of pie there for payment systems. And in the days of 1996, when Mike was wearing his second generation of leisure suits, there was a company called... Just marinate in that for a moment.
Sanzabel slacks.
Marinate in that burgundy polyester for a second, would you? There was a company called Verifone.
Oh my God, that's right.
And they were you'll still see them, and they work half the time. But they figured out that if we took a little carry on every transaction, we're going to make money. Well, they weren't very good at it. It wasn't secure. So hence, my good friend Luke D'Angelo comes up and invents this thing called digital currency. Bitcoin, that's Luke, right there. He invented it. What I get emails about every time you're on the air with us is that, look, this exists already, but what makes you bigger, better, faster, stronger? What is the key selling proposition? What's the tiebreaker, Luke, with you guys?
So the tiebreaker is simple. Everybody does have it out here, and that's case in point, because the intellectual property that we wrote back in 2004 and 2007 was way ahead of the curve. And that's why we have so many people that have given us forward citations on our technology, because they're already using it, right? Forward citation is real simple. It's what a company files with the United States Patent Office to basically let them know that they're using our technology in their technology stack, right? Simple as that. And they do that to avoid infringement issues, etc. So all we're doing is capitalizing on the intellectual property that we have, that we created, and that over 500 people have certified. Google, Visa, Apple, the list goes on, right? And we're
Heard of them, by the way.
Huh?
Heard of them, by the way.
Yeah, I heard of them too, right? But at the end of the day, what we are doing is we are taking our intellectual property, which other people are using, and providing it in a one-stop shop so people can use it all.
So is this the Dolby model? Remember when you got a car stereo from Mad Jack's in 1978 when you were wearing those Miller's Outpost cords that were too tight for...
Ouch. I think they were moving on jeans.
They were moving on jeans. Levi's, yeah, Angel's Flight.
Angel Flight too.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But you had a stereo that had Dolby on there. And if you hit the button, everything sounded like crap, but they sold you on the fact that it was going to be less noise. Dolby never sold a stereo, okay? By the way, Thomas Dolby, he blinded me with science, was part of that family. Just chasing a rabbit here. But all he did was sell the technology. Isn't that the secret sauce here? Yeah. The fact that you have the thing.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if they're buying the server, the computer, the swiper, whatever, does it?
No.
Which I think is the big difference, correct?
Yes, correct. We are basically taking our tools and making it available to the people who need it, rather than having to pay middlemen and outsourcing 3 or 4 different things. We have a one-stop shop.
Okay, so let's talk about Johnny Lunchbucket and Cindy CEO at the cash register. Okay.
Okay.
Mike fashions himself a fashion maven. He likes to go to Nordstrom and needless markups, and Lane Bryant, I'm sorry, bigger sizes. He goes to the register. Is his experience any different? Does he care? Does the store care? Or are we higher on the food chain?
We're higher on the food chain because ultimately what we are providing to the store is to make it a seamless transaction for the customer. So they don't have to break out which and what and how, right? They're just doing it, whether it's their card, on their phone.
Will we spend more money because we don't look?
No.
We won't?
No.
Like if I had to pull out greenbacks.
You're counting them as you're giving them away.
I see what you're saying. So yes, you will spend more because you don't touch it. And that's one of the key things about digital currency is you don't
Right.
touch it, right? So just like the casinos,
Yes.
right?
Wow, you
They
jumped
get-
on that, didn't you?
You get your
Thanks,
chips,
Wyatt.
you get your digital currency.
I'm your
It's the same-
Huckleberry.
It's the same thing.
Is that how you relate to this whole thing? And then he said casino.
Maybe a little
Yeah.
bit. No, but I will buy 2 more dress capes instead of just one when I go to the cash register.
That's just wrong and creepy. You have an all-in-one commerce platform, okay?
Correct.
So, you know the first guy to have an all-in-one commerce platform? Jack LaLanne, okay? He said, I'm going to go on TV. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of entertainment.
Yes.
I'm going to give you an ability to sell advertising. And I'm wearing a super good goldenrod, was a color back then, pantsuit, okay? You might remember from the back of Parade magazine. He was an all-in-one platform, and he created himself a brand. It's different here because you guys are an enterprise-wide solution where none exists right now without strings.
Correct.
And I can tell you, if you go to Gelson's, for example, go to the grocery store, they still have Verifone, okay? And there is, only because I know, if I swipe, if I didn't, whatever, there is like, it's like giving money to a charity, right? I give $1 to a charity and like 15% goes to charity because by the time it gets there.
Yeah.
It's a complicated system. Yours is sort of an open accounting marketing system.
That's correct.
That's sort of taken the best of this digital currency
That's right.
and made it an enterprise-wide solution for Mike's
boys.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, so when Mike goes to It's Lane Bryant. Sorry, not Lane Giant, but you know they got.
They're
it's
big.
It's like Eaglesons, bigger. They're making fashionable sizes for bigger people. Is what they're doing. So when you go there, okay, and you accidentally pull out your Walker Scott card, but you actually meant to take out your American Express. At the end, the customer experience is not different, but yet, at the end of the day, the profitability is.
Yes.
And what does that drive? It drives lower prices,
That's right.
right?
That's right. Lower prices, it expedites transactions, supplies, everything, right? Our job is to make the people like Gelson's and the larger retail chains simple, so they're not pulling technology from 4 or 5 people to create one transaction, right? SMS
Is it safer?
Absolutely.
Is it more transparent? And do we care?
For people on the big box side, they do care. For consumers, it's all about passing those savings off to them, right? So yes, we do care.
So what is that going to mean for you and me in 18 months? What's it going to mean for us in 36 months? And what is it going to mean for us as we go from fiat currency to this digital world, which I already argue that we already are in?
We are in a digital world and we are in a digital currency world. And our mission is to help make sure that the smaller banks and the medium-sized organizations can adjust to that world so they're not having to charge more to people to do what is basically a simple transaction.
Yeah.
That's it. It's where it starts and stops.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can think of the 5 big names out there, which I won't say, but let's just say we will be the back end for everybody.
And
Because we have the technology and they don't.
what's interesting about that is that is the piece that's going over people's heads. It's not about transaction fees. It's
right.
about the fact that you are the best practices enterprise-wide solution for this, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Just like Mike is for Kentucky Fried Chicken as the head taster. All right. I have to tell you, what does our lives look like in terms of a seamless customer service experience in 5 years from now, in your opinion?
A seamless customer experience basically looks like nobody has to present anything at the time of payment, right? They just have whatever, identification, whether, you're a club guy at Sam's Club or Walmart at this guy.
I like to fashion myself as a club guy.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
It's our job to make their lives easier for the customers to have.
Wait, though, before you go, but where are the black helicopters at? Like, who's pissed at you? Like when you hear of a cancer treatment, Pfizer's out there with machine guns and they're watching you. Who, is it Verifone?
We are being watched and they are nervous. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we are being watched.
I'm nervous
and they
that
are nervous.
Cost is watching me. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Luke D'Angelo, Chairman and CEO, AppTech Payment Corp. 8PCX is the stock symbol. You can also go to apptechcorp.com.